Nation tour, and there we are. He's in Seoul, in South Korea. This is the final leg of his visit, and let's take you there live now. The Prime Minister will have a reception.
The Prime Minister has landed in Seoul. You are seeing visuals of the Prime Minister after having landed in the capital of South Korea. This is the third leg of his three-nation tour to China, Mongolia and South Korea. It is going to be a very packed schedule of the Prime Minister today. He will be laying the wreath at the wreath-laying ceremony at the Seoul National Cemetery today, and thereafter he would be at an Indian community reception where about at least 1,500 members of the Indian community are expected to attend. Thereafter there will be an official welcoming ceremony followed by official bilateral talks between the two countries. So it is going to be a very busy day one for Prime Minister in South Korea. The Prime Minister arrived in Seoul, the capital of South Korea, a short while ago. This is the third leg of his three-nation visit. And the Prime Minister was welcomed by some members of the Indian community at Seoul as well.
Well, this is the Prime Minister at the National Cemetery, and symbolism continuing to be very important in this particular visit of the Prime Minister.
Like Mark mentioned, symbolism is extremely important in this visit of the Prime Minister to all the three countries, not just to South Korea. And there he is at the National Cemetery in Seoul. That is the first stop of the Prime Minister in South Korea. This visit to South Korea will be very significant as far as economic and business ties between the two countries are concerned. There is already a comprehensive economic partnership agreement that has been signed between the two countries in 2009. Prime Minister there laying the wreath at the wreath-laying ceremony in Seoul. And Aisha Khanam, our correspondent, is with us on the phone line for more. Aisha, the Prime Minister is at the wreath-laying ceremony at the Seoul National Cemetery. Give us more details.
This is Prime Minister's first stop at South Korea. Prime Minister has arrived straight from airport to National Seoul Cemetery, which is a very significant and sacred place for the South Koreans. This National Seoul Cemetery is a war memorial where all the national heroes are buried here, and this is of very sacred importance for the South Koreans. And the Prime Minister begins his tour to South Korea by placing a wreath on this memorial. And the Prime Minister is now reached this memorial, and he is placed the wreath there. And this National Seoul Cemetery, which has a memorial tower, is dedicated to the heroes who sacrificed themselves for the country, and this symbolizes their sacrifice and patriotism. And this cemetery has very important place in the history of Korea, as well as a very important place among the hearts of the Koreans. So all the dignitaries who arrive in South Korea visit this place first before they proceed on to their official engagements. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just done that, and he has arrived straight from airport to the National Seoul Cemetery. Remember, this National Seoul Cemetery is equivalent to what we have in New Delhi, Amar Jawan Jyoti. So this, by placing a wreath here, the Prime Minister has begun his tour with a personal touch to the emotions of South Korean, and India having played a positive role as always in the bilateral relations of South Korea and India. This gesture by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seen with a lot of respect and admiration among the Koreans.
Right, Aisha, tell us a little bit more about the veterans, the patriots who have actually been buried in this cemetery.
Well, Mark, this is a very, very significant cemetery after Korea went through a horrifying experience of the Korean war with North Korea and then the Vietnam War.
Right.
Many soldiers laid their lives for the nation, and they dedicated their lives for the nation. So this national cemetery is in memory of those soldiers who laid down their lives fighting this war and defending their nation. And this cemetery has over 300 graves of the soldiers and marshals who laid their life, and also post-liberation. All those generals who served the country are buried here at this National Seoul Cemetery. And this cemetery holds. This cemetery is held in very high esteem among the Koreans, and we see that the cemetery has a huge tower, which is 31-meter tall tower, which
Right.
is visible from a long distance across Korea, and this automatically brings in respect for those who laid down their lives for the country, for this country, and also people here their heads in respect.
All right. So you are telling us that this war memorial is reserved for Korean veterans, including those who died in the Korean Independence War, the Vietnam War, and the Korean War. Aisha, from here, is the Prime Minister going to go for the community reception at Seoul?
Yes, the Prime Minister will head for community reception. That is as per the Korean time. That will be around 12:30. And a huge reception awaits the Prime Minister here at the Chenggi University. And there are over 4,000 Indians who are likely to gather to listen to the Prime Minister. Yesterday we met many youngsters, Koreans and Indians as well, who are very enthusiastic and excited about the fact that they will be listening to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister's focus in his speech and his agenda will be Make in India, and this will be heard by Koreans as well as Indians at the community reception. So this is a much awaited event, which is prepared with much enthusiasm by the Korean community and Indian community. So there are a lot of cultural events also which will be presented there, but the Prime Minister may not have so much time to
Right.
witness all cultural events, but he will address the students and people gathered here. There are a lot of people who are working for the Indian and Korean companies as well who will be attending this community reception, and the Prime Minister will make a pitch for Make in India at Chenggi University.
It's not just Make in India, Aisha, as the Foreign Secretary said ahead of the three-nation tour of the Prime Minister. This one is Make, Market and Research in India. So take us through the overall significance of this visit of the Prime Minister to South Korea. This is the first state visit being exchanged between the two countries after the new government took over in India.
Yes, absolutely, Munmun. The Prime Minister has embarked on this first visit to South Korea after he assumed office. And remember, he met the Korean President Park Geun-hye at Myanmar on the sidelines of ASEAN Summit, and after which both the leaders exchanged views about each other's countries and the need to reiterate the bilateral relations between both the countries. The Prime Minister's visit to this country will be a platform where the Prime Minister will make a call for Make in India. Remember, Koreans are the first country who have made huge investments in terms of automobiles. Hyundai is a household name in India as well, and Samsung, LG, these are the companies that have made huge investments in India. So now the Koreans are looking now India is also looking at the defense sector. That will be a major point to look at, defense sector, wherein India will be interested in shipbuilding investments from the Korean side. So these are the few highlights of this visit by the Prime Minister to South Korea, and he has a series of meetings lined up to talk to the delegations
Well, Aisha, one of the things that shouldn't be lost also in the symbolism is that at the War Memorial, at the National Cemetery, actually those who are buried there include the former president of Korea, Park Chung-hee, who is actually the father of the current president, Park Geun-hye, and his wife. And he was assassinated in 1979. So this is also a very symbolic thing that the Prime Minister goes there because it has a sort of a personal connection with the current president. And he is also considered one of the real founding fathers of the modern South Korea, a man who transformed South Korea into what it is today, a modern economy. And he was a military general as well.
Those are visuals of the Prime Minister returning after laying the wreath at the wreath-laying ceremony at the National Cemetery in Seoul.